Right, so you'll end up coming up to junction 42, Tunnel sous la Manche. Your man's gone wrong probably in front of me there because he's gone down the freight lane. So we need to keep to the right, which is the freight lane, and then just follow the road in. Now, there may be some differences in what you have to do depending on what paperwork you've got, but basically getting through the actual tunnel and everything else, or getting onto the train rather, and everything else is pretty much as I'm going to do today, and I'll show you what I do. So just follow the road round, and eventually we'll drop down off this overbridge here where the sign tells us to keep right. I have no idea why, because both lanes carry on round anyway, but so if you were to approach from a different direction, you'd come in on the road you can see on our right there, but you'll end up at this spot here. So we keep to the right, follow the road round to the right, keep going, keep going. When we get round here, there'll be a choice of which lane to use for the tunnel. The lane on the left will take you into the truck village, which is truck parking and the like. You just draw up to the barrier and they let you in, let you out, all the rest of it. I think it's on Snap, that one as well, so it recognises our number plates, and we just sort of go straight in. But anyway, we follow the road round to the right, follow it round, and above whichever lane they're using today should be the green light. And what we're basically going to do is end up in that section on the right hand side that you can see there. There's the truck park off to the left on that slip road, and we're going to end up coming through the control. There above us now, or in front of us now actually, you can see the green light, which is the lane we're using, and depending on the time of the month and the phases of the moon, they have different setups down at the bottom end here. What we want to do is go through that big scanner on the right hand side, and it looks like we're just looping straight round and into it today. Sometimes they loop you round and you go through the car park, and it's like one of them airport queuing things where it's never ending. So he's made the same mistake that lots of other people will do, and they'll bring him through here. That's why that van's sat there doing knack all. So we just come straight round and we go through this big x-ray machine. Matey boy's telling us to keep right, which we will do, and we join a queue up to this spot. Border pass, empty, keep right. I think there was an empty lane up here. There isn't, but doesn't matter, we'll go here anyway. And we queue behind the barriers. Normally if it's busy, they let 2 in, 2 out, 2 in, 2 out, and so on and so forth. If it's quiet or quieter, then they just let 1 in at a time. So we just wait here for a moment. When we do pull in, we'll switch off our engine, and the sniffer dogs come round and all the rest of it, and Matey boy comes up and he will ask me for my GMR, goods movement reference, and MRN, movement reference number. Or I'll have a border pass, which is all electronically done, and he just makes sure that the trailer number matches the tractor number and says very good driver and waves me through. Right, here we go. So we're moving in. Yep, 2 at a time today. So he pulls into the first bay, I pull into the second bay. tickety-boo, tickety-boo, up to the line, and that'll do. Handbrake on, engine off, give us a minute. Here they come walking around with the sniffer dogs. Here's our man now. He may ask for my GMR, MRN, etc. Hang on a second. Right, so as suspected, you wanted to see my GMR, MRN there. They may ask for your T forms, your carnets, your ATA form, anything they want. Anyway, he asked for mine there, so you just show him the paperwork or on your phone or however you've got it, and it's a barcode that he scans in with a digital scanner. They let you out, it turns into this bun fight here with everybody jostling for position because there's normally only just a couple of lanes open. Anyway, what I'm going to do is nip across here, because if you look at the signs above, it tells you which side the operator's going to be on in the booth. So obviously I want one on my driver's side, otherwise it means climbing over the cab, which isn't too much of a problem, but it just makes it easier. So I just follow this lane round. I see some of them belting round. Oh God, I don't know what race he's in, but anyway, he's in a race. So we went. So yeah, follow the road round, join the queue. So they'll pull you up to these booths. As you can see, I'm in the one with the arrow pointing to the right, the driver's side, indicating that the machine or person will be on the right, making it slightly easy to check in and all the rest of it. Okay, in we go. So all you got to do, pull up to the booth, it says press the flag, so we'll press the Union Jack, enter your registration number, continue. Any dangerous goods on board? No. Are you driving a fridge? Yes. Are you carrying animal fats? No. Passengers in the cab? 1. Validate, approve. The ticket then spews out telling you to go to lane F when the barrier raises, which it has done. So we'll pull through and join the crazy queue.
Bonjour monsieur.
Bonjour.
Un instant, 1 minute please.
Drugs test by the look of it. I know I'm clear there. Very thorough this morning. Merci. Okay, so you can see in the lanes above a picture of which side the man is on. So we want this left-hand lane, indicating that the man is going to be leaning out to our driver's side, where he will check our passport. Here we go, up to passport control for the UK border.
Hello sir, good morning.
How are you? Okay, safely through there. That's the last we should need of the passport. Join the queue again. There's a green light above the lane that they're using, and here they will tell you which lane you're queuing in for your relevant train. Okay, so we just follow the queue, and here they normally just hold up a lollipop stick with your lane on, and then the lane will be lit up green. As you can see, number 8 they're using at the moment. You can see it over to the left hand side of this truck. He's got a fridge on, and they've just opened the barriers for 1 to 6, and you can see the arrow flashing. They'll probably do the same for me. Yeah, she's saying lane 2. So I follow the man in front. I guess that's because we're refrigerated. So we're heading for lane 2. So we follow the lines here, which say 1 to 6. And when we get further round, it'll split again. And you can see highlighted with the green arrow above it is lane 2. So we follow this all the way to the top as far as we can go at this point. You may be right at the front, you may be halfway down the lane, it just depends. There's nothing you can do about it. It looks like, yeah, there's a couple in front of us. And that's us. Now we'll queue here for a while. If you wanted to get a break in, this is probably the place to do it. Over to the right hand side are the toilets. Just follow the zebra across. So here we go, being called forward, green light. Just follow the queue in front basically. Don't forget 2 things when you get on the train. You're not allowed to have your fridge running, the fridge trailer, because it will set the smoke heat detector alarm things off. So when you get out, lock your cab, turn your fridge off, job done. And the second thing, don't forget which bus you get on. You'll either get on number 1 or number 2. They hold up a lollipop stick with the number on. Either when you're getting on the bus or when you're getting off the bus onto the train, because you don't stay in the vehicle. But remember which number bus you're on, because when you get off you have to get on the same bus, because that will drop you off in order at your truck. And if you get on the wrong bus, you won't be very popular with all the drivers, because they'll all be waiting for you. Everybody behind you will be in the queue, and yeah, they'll likely lynch you. So somebody will direct you here, look, stop you going too far, and there'll also be a green light showing you which lane to go down. We're going down lane 11, and this is by no way the definitive means of getting on and off this train. It's just something that somebody once told me, and it's worked for me ever since. Because some drivers pull on and take a massively wide sweep and go across onto the other platform, the other side, and swing it round and blah blah blah, and there's actually no need, somebody once told me. And in fairness, I've done it this way since. Okay, as I say, here we go. We're loading on the left, obviously. And you'll see a bollard at the end of the caged section of the carriages. You'll see a bollard on the left hand side. What on the floor, marking the end of the carriage, sort of thing. What I've been told to do is keep right, and then just as you see the bollard, just skim it, like he looks to be doing here. Yeah, you'll see the bollard on the corner thing there. And what I'm going to do is hang back, because if this fella needs to reverse off for any reason at all, and the queue is right up his backside, you can't. But it is so narrow going in, it is ridiculous. I don't blame him for going as steady as that. It is ridiculous. But your trailer, in fairness, does seem to follow. I did notice last week the covering of the deck was mega slippy. So yeah, keep right here. keep right, and then we're just going to skim the bollard on the left hand side. Just barely skim it, and as soon as you're on the train, look for your entry point. Your trailer, believe it or not, will follow your entry. You don't think it's going to, but it actually does. And there we are. We're on, and she's good. See, the guy behind me is taking a massive swing, and gone on to the other side of the platform, and this, that, and the other. Anyway, don't do a minute. Don't ever straddle. You can see the joints in the floor there, just at the back of that trailer, just disappearing under the front of mine. Then don't ever straddle those joints, because they'll make you back up. And one of the problems is everybody follows so close. I don't. I'll leave a bit of gap, because if you do have to back up, they've to stop 50 trucks behind you and back them all up, and it takes an age, and you're not very popular again. But they do like you to pull up to that jointing piece, and then try and squeeze your way out of the cab, because it's so ridiculously tight. Now there is an app, or not an app actually, it's a web page, I think, for Eurotunnel, which should show your custom status. Green means you're good to go, orange means you need to report to customs. We're always orange going into France, well, 99% of the times, because we have to report to the vet's place in Calais. But the web page doesn't work very well. I've known it just not show anything at all. So there's screens on the train which I'll show you when we get on, and you just look for your registration number popping up there, and it'll either, like I say, it'll either be green or orange. There you go. Now he's stopped there, and you can see that the joint in the train is just here. So I'll go up to the joint, stop just a bit short about there, and that'll do fine. Handbrake on, engine off, switch the fridge off, and into the bus. Remember, you need to know which bus number it is. So while you're on the train, you'll see the screen up ahead, up above there, with all the custom status. So it shows your registration, and then a green custom status, or as that top one shows, inspection, where you need to go to an inland border facility. So you see bus 1 or bus 2, you get on the one you got in on. Okay, so we're off the bus, back on the train, back in the truck, switch the fridge back on, and we're heading off the train itself and out onto the M20 at Folkestone. The ramp is very steep, so depending on what goods you've got on, or well, not depending, just do it anyway. Yeah, watch the deck on this bit here, it's sometimes really slippy. Yeah, the ramp here is very steep, so don't attack it at 40 mile an hour, because it gives a right bump, and obviously the load will be affected by your actions. So nice and steady, accelerate to the top, remembering to turn right as the arrows point us. Quick check to the left to make sure nothing's coming, and so far so good, because there are other trains disembarking at the same time. And we're off. Follow the road round, follow it round, follow it round, down the ramp this side, obviously everybody wants to race you. And down we go. Just keep following it down and it will spit you straight out onto the M20 at Folkestone. Looks like there's some sort of delay up ahead. There's a lot of brake lights. Come on. No, it looks like they're okay. So that, my friends, is crossing in a truck on Eurotunnel from Calais, France to Folkestone in the UK. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and there's plenty of other truck stuff and all sorts of rubbish on the channel, so please take a look. I will do one coming the opposite way from UK out to Calais, so if you want to see that one, just check back and you can have a look at that, because there are a couple of slight differences, though basically the procedure is much the same. Thanks again, take care.